We're going to talk about factoring trinomials, and specifically factoring quadratic trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. In our case, the a term is equal to 1. So we're actually looking at x squared plus bx plus c. You'll hear me refer to this as the short AC test. So, in doing this, I call it the AC test because you're multiplying the A term times the C term and then looking at some different situations. So let's do an example. So our first example is x squared minus 11x plus 24. What we're going to do is multiply the 1 times 24, and it'll give you on the side here the number 24. Then what we're going to do is write down the factors of 24, starting with the 1. It's very important that you do these in order. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, 5 and nothing, and then we're back to the number 6. Okay? Now, we have to read the signs. So in reading the signs, we see that this sign says that when I multiplied two terms, they were both the same. Because a negative times a negative is a positive, and a positive times a positive is a positive. This middle sign says that if they were the same, then both of them had to have been negative, because when I added them, I got a negative sign. So they were the same. In order for them to be the same and give me a negative sign, they both have to be a negative. So I go back to my factors and make all of these terms negative. When I add the terms together, I'm looking for a negative 11. So in looking for a negative 11, when I add them, I see that this term gives me negative 11. So, for the short AC test, I'm pretty much done with what I need. All I need to do is put x's in front of each one of these terms. So I say x minus 3, x minus 8. Those are my factors using the short AC test. So let's check this result. So in checking it, I'm just going to use one of the many methods we've talked about in multiplying binomials or multiplying polynomials. So I'm going to use the box method. That's the one we mostly use here in class. So we have x negative 3, x negative 8. So I multiply x times x, and I end up getting x squared. I multiply negative 3 times x, I get negative 3x. Multiply x times negative 8, I get negative 8x. And multiply negative 3 times negative 8, and I get a positive 24. So, my binomial, when I do this, ends up giving me x squared minus 11x plus 24. So here I got what my original question was, and I see that these are in fact the factors. So let's try another one. Say this time we're given x squared minus 4x minus 21. Again, using the short AC test, I'm going to multiply 1 times 21, which is 21. I'm going to start writing the factors of 21, starting with the number 1. So 1 and 21, 2 and nothing, 3 and 7, 4 and nothing, 5 and nothing, 6 and nothing, and we're back to 7. Now we read the signs. So in reading the signs, we see that the signs are different this time because I got a negative when I multiplied two terms together. And if this is a minus sign and the signs are different, the only way I can get a negative is if when I added them, the bigger number was negative. So the signs are different and the bigger numbers are negative. So because we wrote our factors in order, I'm going to put negatives beside all the bigger numbers. So 21 gets a negative sign and 7 gets a negative sign. Here, we're going to add the two terms together to see which one gives me a negative 4. And in this case, this one gives me a negative 4. A 3 and negative 7 add to give me negative 4. So again, this is the short AC test. I'm done. I put x's in front of each, so x plus 3 and x minus 7 are my factors. Again, we can check our answer using the box method, and you'll see that we'll end up with x squared minus 4x minus 21. Okay. Now, I want you to try these two terms. What you need to do is just simply push pause and then try them out. Hopefully you got it, and here we go. So you're going to multiply 1 and 15 together to get 15. Then find the factors of 15. 1 and 15, 3 and 5, and that's it. This time read the signs. So the signs say the signs are the same, and they're both going to be positive. So if everything's positive, the one that gives me 8 is a positive 3 and a positive 5. Then we write our factors. So x plus 3, x plus 5. All right. Let's try the next one. So here, you're given x squared plus x minus 42. So 1 times 42 is 42. You write the factors of 42, so that's 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, 4 won't work, 5 won't work, 6 and 7, and we're done. Now, in reading the signs, this one says the signs are different. This one says that the bigger one is positive. So if all the bigger ones are positive, this time all the little ones are negative. So when we add them up, the one that gives me a positive 1 is negative 6 and positive 7. So we get x minus 6, x plus 7. Thank you very much.